There are 5 toxic emotions that can ruin your life, keep you in low-income jobs, and prevent you from having healthy, positive relationships. And that's just the beginning. I'm going to show you how I've helped over 100 of my clients identify and transform these limiting emotions into empowering emotions to unlock your full potential so that you can start living your dream life. Watch to the end so you don't miss the practical tips so that you can start making improvements today. In order to understand how we're going to do this and why emotions are so critical to our success, we first need to talk about one of the most destructive forces on this entire planet: nuclear bombs. Nuclear bombs are the most powerful weapon that humankind has ever created. With only a few uses, it's estimated that they've killed between 130,000 to 230,000 people, and the world has been changed forever since. Thanks to the popularity of Oppenheimer, you're probably aware at least a little bit of how an atom bomb works. They're the result of firing one tiny piece of uranium very fast at another piece of uranium, which causes this massive explosion of the bomb. Well, oddly enough, this is actually a perfect analogy for our emotions. You see, the initial detonation is like when something happens in our lives. Let's call this a triggering event. This could be something positive, like someone giving you a compliment or winning first place, or something negative, like losing your job or getting in a car crash. Whatever the triggering event is, it launches us forward and we crash into something. That something is our beliefs. Our beliefs then cause a spark that causes forth an explosion of emotions. I said an explosion of emotions. That's more like it. But if you thought that's where the similarities of this analogy stopped, then oh boy, do I have a surprise for you. I will run any analogy completely into the ground, even if it means that my point is completely lost. But nuclear fallout is actually a pretty accurate analogy still. So let's keep going. Nuclear fallout is one of the results of a bomb exploding and releasing radioactive material into the area. This effect is especially bad if it explodes while on the ground. Our emotions can cause their own sort of fallout in our lives. On the negative side of the spectrum, they cause us to act irrationally and hurt those around us that we love. They can also cause us to not live up to our full potential, ruining our lives and cutting them short. There is a positive side to all these emotions, but before I dive headfirst into that cheerful topic, I have a question for you. Have you ever tried to drink nuclear waste?
Mr. Burns is making me eat all these crumbs of toxic waste.
Jeez, that's rough.
Well, I can't say I would recommend it. It's not likely to give you superpowers like we see in the movies. But if we're not careful, we end up doing this exact same thing to ourselves. But with our emotions. We drink the toxic waste of our emotions. Stick with me for a second. Our emotions are like uranium-235, the powerful element that's used to make nuclear bombs. This element can be packaged into that powerful tool that can bring ruin to hundreds of thousands of people's lives in an instant. And the same is true of our emotions. We will always experience the fallout or consequences of our emotions. And so will others. You see, emotions are powerful. They completely alter our thoughts, our actions, and ultimately the results that we get in life. It's fair to say that a large part of why you are the way you are is because of your emotions. Hardworking or lazy, codependent or independent, a success or a failure can be altered greatly by the emotions you feel. Now to go back to that positive side I mentioned earlier, you see, uranium actually has 2 primary uses that it's most known for. Do you know the other? Well, if you watch much of The Simpsons or Chernobyl, you're aware that it's also used to create electricity. Many countries safely use nuclear power to produce 9% of our global energy needs every single year, and even with major accidents, it still has less deaths per terawatt than any other power source. This lets us stay away from toxic fossil fuels and create a cleaner environment, and still getting to enjoy the comforts of modern life. By the way, this video is not sponsored by big nuclear power or anything like that. I just really like nuclear power. Thank you, Kyle Hill. And I am so happy that this analogy works as well as it does. Oh, right. Back to the analogy. Your emotions act exactly the same way. Emotions are simply energy in motion in our bodies. This energy can be used to create a better world or cause ruin and destroy your life. These 5 emotions I'm going to cover can destroy lives because they are the easiest to misuse. Most people use these emotions as bombs to hurt others or themselves, but if you harness them properly, you can push yourself ahead of the competition and achieve the dream life that you've always wanted. I'm going to quickly explain both the negative and the positive side to each of these emotions and a tip for how to lean into that positive side. So I'm here editing the day after, and I'm realizing I kind of didn't introduce these emotions or like what I was doing here. So this next part, if you've seen much of Game Changer on Dropout TV, it's a little inspired by that. It's going to be kind of like I'm announcing each of the emotions like a game show host. Let me know what you think. It's meant to be fun instead of boring, stifling, like some of these self-help and self-improvement videos can be. The emotion we feel when we stub our toes or when someone crosses us, it's anger. Anger is interesting because it's actually a cover-up emotion. You don't just feel anger on its own. It usually comes up with some other emotion, like feeling angry when we're sad that someone hurt our feelings, or feeling angry when someone almost hurts us, like they cut us off in traffic. That's partially a fear response coming out. Anger is a defense mechanism. The best way to think about anger is that it is energy to fix a problem. So when you're experiencing anger, you can be destructive, try to push others away, isolate yourself, or hurt others. Or you can use it to create a better world. Even people like MLK used a type of righteous anger to help create a better world. So ask yourself this question. What could I fix to make this better for everyone involved? This will help you redirect the tunnel vision energy of anger in a positive direction. The emotion we feel when we get caught doing something wrong, whether it's taking a cookie from the cookie jar or going against our own morals, it's guilt. Now, guilt is the feeling that I have done something wrong or bad. This feeling of guilt can be greatly amplified by what's called black and white thinking. That's when you're thinking that everything is either right or wrong, and there's not really a gray in between. I grew up in a Christian community, and we had a phrase that actually kind of helped me with this one. God is on one side, and the devil is on the other, and everything else is in between. And if that doesn't vibe with you, Taoism and Buddhism are also known for putting an emphasis on nothing being truly good or truly evil. What this means is that even if we do something wrong, good can come from it. I used to think that failing math in 7th grade was bad, and I beat myself up for it. But it meant I got to experience a hero's journey in 8th grade when my hard work greatly improved my math abilities. The best way to redirect guilt is to ask yourself, what good could possibly come from this in 1 month, 6 months, or even a year from now? This can help you jump out of that self-pity that you did something bad or wrong and help you look towards a brighter future. The emotion that sneaks up on us when we realize we accidentally hit reply all on the company email. The redness in our face when our secret dance moves are caught on camera. It's shame. Shame can creep into our lives in so many ways that's not even fair to count. This is one of the lowest vibe emotions that can ruin someone. If guilt is the feeling of doing something wrong, shame is the feeling of being wrong or bad. It's a sense that there is something inherently wrong with the very fiber of our being. Like we're a car that was designed and shipped with a bad transmission on purpose. Sound a little familiar, 2013 Ford Focus? And just like I slung around some shame at my old car just now, shame can come from other people around us when they think we've done something wrong. The other side of shame is the word humility, which is remembering that we're not perfect, and that's okay. This is the direction we want to move our shame. First, we want to accept that there truly isn't anything wrong with us. At our core, we are okay, we are not defective. We're just different, and there isn't a reason to feel shame for being different, you know? Focus instead that whatever this perceived imperfection that you found, see if you can find a positive side to it. Or if you can inject some humility and accept it for what it is. Another thing that makes you wonderful and unique. Quick side note, it's really easy to feel shame after a breakup. Just remember, you want to be with someone that doesn't experience or cause you to experience shame for being who you are. You want to find someone that loves every part of you, even the unique parts. The emotion we feel when we're surrounded by people who don't understand our love for Pokemon. The feeling when our only dinner date is a microwave meal. It's lonely! Loneliness, just like anger, has a tendency to be coupled with other emotions. Sadness or shame can very easily creep in with this feeling. And this feeling can be self-perpetuating if we're not careful. We feel lonely, so it's easy to make up that people don't like us. And that's why they're not with us. Things kind of just evolve from there. What's helpful to remember is that loneliness gives you a wonderful opportunity to either reflect on yourself and what's going on, or to reach out to others. Loneliness can be a very self-centered emotion, but when we reach out to someone else and remember that they might also be lonely too, we might be able to temporarily rescue both of us from the fires of loneliness. This is great, especially if you develop a friendship for someone that's good at having deep conversations about life. This can be incredibly valuable. And if that's not an option right now, take this time to get to know yourself. Don't wallow in the pain. Practice self-care. Create art. Go on a walk. Find ways to enjoy the person in the mirror. The emotion that grips us when we hear a mysterious noise at night. The feeling when we realize we forgot to save our work before a computer crash. It's fear! Fear is one of the most potent limiting emotions. And I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people that has a spidey sense for what I fear. I can kind of spiderweb out a list of potential things that I'm afraid of and what could easily go wrong and get caught up in those what if scenarios. For example, me and my dog were attacked a few weeks ago during a dog walk, and I couldn't bring myself to bring my dog on another walk for a little while. I was scared it might happen again. I kept seeing all the possibilities over and over again, but I did something to get over it. I bought a defense, pepper spray. Finding a way to defend yourself is a great way to protect against fear. It doesn't work for every type of fear. Most of our fears actually come from previous events in our lives, and that fear is just our brain trying to stay alive by trying to predict the future. This makes for a great opportunity to do shadow work because now you can look at what happened and process it because you're past the event. For less dangerous things like posting a video online or going to a job interview, the best thing to keep in mind is that the opposite of fear is trust. Find a way that you can trust yourself or something else in your life. Many people turn towards higher power beliefs or religion or anything like that. And these can help because if you believe that things will work out, well, then you're going to trust and be a lot more relaxed. And if you're able to redirect this energy of fear into trust, you will find the courage that you're looking for. These 5 emotions can be brutal in life. These have all thrown me for a loop in one way or another in my life, so I want to help you move past any of the emotions that you've gotten stuck on. And if you need more personalized help, I'd love to meet you for free for a one-on-one session so we can move past these toxic emotions and help you into a better tomorrow. Just schedule with the Calendly link down below. And if you're looking for more shadow work videos, check out this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.